So it's finally here. The opening weekend, the inaugural match of the Canadian Premier League is finally here. It's finally upon us. And that is, if you're watching this on the Friday, the day this episode comes out, it's going to be tomorrow afternoon. So make sure you watch it. You guys go out there and watch it. It's going to be on CBC on your TV channels. So that's going to be fantastic. You can also watch it over at onesoccer.ca. That's the streaming service for all your Canadian Premier League matches. Now, this episode is going to be my first in the line of preview episodes where I preview and eventually review matches and match day matches for the Canadian Premier League. Now let's review the opening weekend, starting with the first ever match in the Canadian Premier League history, the 905 Derby, Forge FC hosting York 9 FC. So who's going to win the inaugural match? Well, I mean, if you look at the two teams, the numbers, it's in Hamilton. I mean, obviously the clear advantage right off the bat is going to be for Forge FC because they're at home with the home crowd. But I think it's going to be a bit of a mixed crowd because there's going to be a lot of people traveling in, like myself, to the inaugural match there and taking in the sights and the sounds. So I think it's going to be a hot crowd, or at least I hope it's a hot crowd, which will make for a fun, entertaining game. And therefore, it could end up being kind of more like a neutral ground with a little bit of favoritism to Forge FC since it is their home territory, their home turf. But on top of that, I feel like the favorite coming to this match, a lot of people are thinking it's Forge FC, which kind of makes me feel like York 9, the kind of team that's trying to play the party pooper role for this inaugural match. They have no pressure coming into this match, and that could be a deadly thing to help lead them to a win in this. And if you look at the two teams evenly, I think goalkeeping maybe is in the favor of Forge FC. I think if you look at the back four, who's better defensively, I think right now, if you look at it on paper, which is the only way we can really look at it, it's probably for York 9 in their advantage. I think midfield, that one's kind of more to Forge FC's advantage, and I think up front for the forwards group, I think they're actually kind of even on both sides, even between Forge FC and York 9 FC. So I think if you look at the two, all those positional roles and battles between the two sides, it's going to be tight to say. And a lot of people are thinking York 9 could pull off an upset in this one and win 2-1 or 3-0 or something. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I do think there's going to be some goals scored, and I think it's actually going to be Forge FC at home taking it. The score will be 2-1 Forge FC. The second match of the weekend will be when Pacific FC hosts HFX Wanderers over the next day on Sunday, April 28th, over at West Hill Stadium. And I think this is going to be a big matchup, and I think it might actually end up being a little bit more entertaining than the inaugural match, to be honest with you, because I think these two sides are very even and going to be very talented for this match. It's going to be exciting to watch. Just any CPL soccer now is exciting to watch, but I think this one will be really exciting. I think, traveling through the different time zones, depending on when Halifax Wanderers go to Vancouver Island, I think that could possibly play a factor in fatiguing them, possibly for the match. But on top of that, I think the ferocious attack of Pacific FC could be really tough for them to contain. But I think if you look at the matchups, goalkeeper versus goalkeeper, I think the Wanderers have an edge there. I think in terms of defense, I think it's kind of even right now. And in terms of midfield, I think the edge might be slightly for the Wanderers there. And then for the attack, for the forwards position battle, I think the favorite has got to be the Pacific FC front three there, which is looking pretty deadly coming into the start of the season, to be honest with you. But I think the Wanderers, if they can play a possession type game and lock down and keep the chances limited for Pacific FC, I think they can come out here with the points. I think that's going to be crucial in a spring type season like this, and I think it will be a final of a 2-2 draw between the Halifax Wanderers and Pacific FC. So now we're going to wrap up here with our third matchup, and that's Pacific FC playing host to Valor FC on Wednesday, May the 1st. And the first ever midweek matchup for Canadian Premier League will be actually a pretty good one, a bit of a late game, yes, but I think it will be a fun match nonetheless. I mean, you're going to have the high power offense of Pacific FC versus a really good strong defense of Valor FC. Now the advantage does go to Pacific FC, who did play their first match just a few days prior, so they kind of should have the rust a little bit off there, versus Valor playing in their first ever competitive match. So the pressure and the tension might be high. They might be a little nervous in their first ever competitive match together. But I think if you look down the line, you look at all the different formation battles in this one, goalkeeping I think goes to Valor FC in this case. I think defense goes to Valor FC with an advantage there. I think even with midfield, I feel like there's a bit of a stronger core of midfielders with Valor FC, and therefore I think they're again advantage of Valor FC. And I think for forward group, that advantage does go to Pacific FC. So it's going to be a tight matchup, but I think Valor FC, they're going to be a strong defensive core team, and if they're going to play a good, strong possession game, which I think should suit them and play really well for them. I think if they hold on the ball, they limit the chances for Pacific FC. I really see Valor FC coming out on top in this one, and I think the final score will be 2-1 for Valor FC, and Valor FC getting a win in their first ever matchup, and Pacific FC are already 2 matches in, looking for their first win. And that's my final result for that one, 2-1 Valor FC. Well, guys, that was my predictions for the opening matchups in the Canadian Premier League's history, not just the opening weekend, but in the history of the Canadian Premier League. I mean, that's super exciting. Let me know your guys' predictions down in the comment section below, and if your guys' predictions are right versus mine being wrong, maybe I'll even give you guys a shout out over on my social media channels. And also let me know down in the comment section below, are you going to be at the inaugural matchup in Hamilton? I will be, so if you're going to be there, make sure you come say hi, come find me, come say hi. I'd love to meet you guys in person. It's always fun talking CPL soccer, not just online but in person, so definitely don't be shy, come say hi to me. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that big old thumbs up button. The like button shows me like videos just like this, and even take the time if you want to see content just like this every week, definitely hit that red subscribe button. And you can actually hit that bell button beside it. You get notified each and every week on your phone, on your tablet, any of that stuff. You get notified when I drop a brand new episode just like this one. So hit that red subscribe button if you want to see more content just like this. And of course, you can also find my episodes over at northernstarting11.com. I'll have a link for that website down in the description below. There's a bunch of other great vidcasters there. There's a bunch of great soccer podcasts about Canadian soccer and soccer in general, and the CPL too, which is all super cool. So if you're like me and you're hungry for more and more content about the CPL, definitely check out that website. I'll have a link for that down in the description below. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. Barreling in on 600 subscribers, and I'm hopefully can pass it and go into 700 subscribers pretty soon. So thank you guys for subscribing and liking, and I'll see you guys next week.